This is Dan of Vagabond Awake, the YouTube channel for Vagabond Buddha. Today I'm going to show you videos of Phu Quoc, Vietnam, as I discuss why it is a great retire cheap in Paradise Island location. But no need to take notes. Everything I say is in writing. Just click the link in the notes below this YouTube video to get Phu Quoc, Vietnam, cost of living, livability factors, best areas to stay, cheapest flights, things to do, best beach, best sunsets, cable car tour, best cheap food in Phu Quoc, and Phu Quoc, Vietnam facts and history, plus our best retire cheap in paradise locations in the world. I travel the world and identify the best retire cheap in paradise locations. I've been to 65 countries so far. I've created over 50 retire cheap reports worldwide and action guides to get people ready for early, cheap, international retirement and travel. Retirement is not an age, it's a state of mind. I define retirement as the moment you give up on the grind and start living life on your own terms. One of the biggest secrets is to reduce your overhead so substantially that you're no longer required to show up to work on Monday. Today, I'm discussing how to make a little plan, Stan, and set yourself free. How to retire for $1,100 US per month in Phu Quoc, Vietnam. Okay, cost of living. There's a table here on the web page. As I say, click below this video to get all this information in writing. And it ranges, this estimate is anywhere from a backpacker type, living very frugally, to someone like myself, living frugally, but also wanting a kitchen because I like to cook, so like a one-bedroom apartment. The cost of living for 1 month on my table is estimated to be 800, range between the backpacker type from about 400 to someone like myself around 900 to 1,000 a month. So there's presently no public transportation in Phu Quoc. If you're not an experienced motorcycle rider, you might get yourself killed or badly injured riding a scooter in Vietnam. I've ridden scooters all over Southeast Asia, and I was able to rent one here for about 100K dong, or $4.35 per day, from my landlord, link below. You should take taxis or grab cars otherwise if you're not confident on a motorcycle. The table above is the estimated cost of living for 1 month for one person as a temporary visitor. It only includes rent, 2 meals per day, and local transportation. I usually have oatmeal for breakfast in my room, so I don't count that. 𝐷𝐵𝐼 has no data for Phu Quoc, so for a full understanding of what it would cost you to live in Phu Quoc, visit 𝐷𝐵𝐼.com for Vang Tao, link provided, and add any items you spend money on to the table. Never move anywhere until you have visited first personally to verify the living costs for your lifestyle and needs. I'm not guaranteeing these prices. These are just my notes and estimates from the time of my visit and this post. Your costs will likely be drastically different depending on your lifestyle and the time since this post. The above numbers are, as I said, for one person, and they don't include anything not in the table. And there's a link here explaining how the table works in case you want some help with that. If you buy anything using our links, such as flights, tours, or accommodations, you'll pay nothing extra, but we'll earn a small commission, usually like $1 or so. Your kindness will encourage us to keep making these travel guides and videos. Okay, Phu Quoc, livability factors. Here is why you should consider retiring early for cheap in Phu Quoc, Vietnam. First, Chung Hoi of Hobo Ventures said today, Phu Quoc is my favorite place to live that we have visited so far this year. That is a heavy statement. Already this year we've been 3 months all over Vietnam, 3 months all over Thailand, we've been all over Malaysia, Spain, Cambodia, and Morocco. So that is an important statement. I will publish my best place to retire cheap in the world for 2020 in about 45 days. Subscribe so you'll be the first to know. Here are my livability factors for Phu Quoc. Walkability, I would say low. My favorite beaches are not in the areas where my favorite restaurants are located. That means I would need to travel to either the beach or to my favorite restaurants and foods. I could not walk to both. If I picked an apartment, it wouldn't be walkable from both. I would need to buy a cheap scooter if I lived here. Okay, internet, hi. We shared a router with 3 other apartments in our building. It was fine when we were the only ones home, but when other people were in their units, it slowed some. Presumably, you would get your own internet router if you rented here long term. It would not be a problem in that case. If you need strong, reliable internet, make sure to get an apartment where you have your own high-speed internet Wi-Fi router. Okay, food, medium. The local restaurants are cheap and good. We typically paid about $1 to $1.75 US per meal. We paid more when we tried to eat in the tourist restaurants, about $3 to $8. We had one meal at the most extravagant Italian restaurant in town for Chung Hoi's birthday, which was $86 for 2 people, including foreign wine and a 3-course Italian meal. The international restaurants seem to be priced for the tourists. So when the mood strikes for international food, you're likely to pay more because it is a tourist-focused island rather than an everyday life island. If you're trying to stay within budget, eat local or learn to cook. Okay, weather. High. Average highs range seasonally from a low of 85 Fahrenheit or 29 Celsius in August to an average high of 90 Fahrenheit or 32 Celsius in April. Average lows, nights, range seasonably from a low of 73 Fahrenheit or 23 Celsius in January to a high at night of 78 Fahrenheit or 26 Celsius in May. The rainy season is May through October, when at least some rain falls in 20 or more days of the month. But the rain is pretty focused even in the rainy season into September and October. Things to do, medium, fishing, swimming, wave runners, sailing, boating, hiking, beach volleyball, gym, bicycling, running, yoga, exploring restaurants, motorcycles, walking, scuba, snorkeling, cooking classes, drinking, kayaking, and frisbee. It's pretty much an island, people. Social considerations. Since this is a tourist-focused island and most of the people visiting come and go in a week or 2, or even just a few days, you'll need to develop relationships with the locals and any expats you can find that live here. For men, Vietnamese men like to relax in the cafe tea houses and play board games. Vietnamese women seem more focused on socializing within the home, but tend to work more than the men in general. Both the men and the women are super friendly, but you are going to need to learn some Vietnamese to get beyond surface level relationships. If you're just buying and things in the store and going about your daily life, very little Vietnamese is needed, if any. Okay, expats. For smaller sized Facebook groups, these pages show a surprising amount of activity. Join these pages and start asking specific questions about life in Phu Quoc if you're seriously thinking of moving there. When I first became an expat 12 years ago, these types of resources did not exist. You can get lonely, so make sure to make some connections before you decide to move anywhere. And there's 3 links here to expat Facebook pages. Real estate. I do not recommend buying in Vietnam. Always think of the exit strategy whenever buying real estate. It can be easier to get into a mess than to get out of it. That's why I recommend never investing any money that you're not willing to lose in a foreign country in real estate. The people recommending buying in foreign countries often have a conflict of interest. They get a commission. Just keep your local real estate in your home country and rent it out. Live off the rents in your home country, in a foreign country where the rents are much cheaper and the economy is likely hundreds of years old and more predictable. And so real estate is not as big a risk. Or buying in such a country if your home country is such a risk. Okay, medical. There's an international hospital by name in Phu Quoc, link provided, but it's not staffed with people of doctors of a large diversity of knowledge that you will find at international hospitals in larger cities in Vietnam. Presently, you may be able to get routine care here, but we'll need to fly to Ho Chi Minh or Da Nang or Bangkok to get many kinds of specialized care. There are thousands of expensive condos being built all over Phu Quoc for international. So in 5 to 10 years, the care at the international hospital and Phu Quoc is likely to improve substantially. Visa requirements. Hi. Americans living in Vietnam report the ease of paperwork and requirements for getting a one-year multi-entry visa. They say it's so easy they don't even consider getting retirement visas. They just get a new one-year visa every year. There are companies that will pick you up at your house and take you to the border once a year to exit Vietnam and re-enter for another one-year visa for $75 is what they charge for that service. Other countries only get a 3-month visa, so they have to do 4 visa runs per year at about $75 each. I did not independently check the accuracy of this visa information, it's just from conversations with other expats. But we got a 3-month visa using a e-visa process online, link provided to Chung Hoi's webpage to show you how to do that. Pollution. In Southeast Asia, do not swim in the ocean near where rivers flow into the sea from populated areas. Water pollutants are often not monitored. You can expect to see single-use plastic trash bags and bottles in many areas unless there's a local organized effort to pick them up daily. The difference between a local beach and a tourist beach is often just local business owners spending money collecting single-use plastics and other trash daily from the beach. The air quality is monitored in Phu Quoc and ranges from moderate to good, link provided. Phu Quoc desirability score, high for beach lovers, medium for everyone else. The things to do list is focused around outdoor activities near the ocean. It is a medium-sized island, so that is to be expected. If you're looking to live a simple life that involves a relationship with the ocean and or the beach, this place is heaven. I would rank it high in that case. If you're finding any value here, could you please like it, comment, share, or subscribe? Your simple act of kindness will move us up in the Google and YouTube search rankings so our business grows faster. If you'd like to learn how to fire your boss and live in paradise for peanuts, grab a free copy of my ebook, How to Fire Your Boss and Travel the World. Okay, best area to stay in Phu Quoc. We stayed in the Long Beach area, which is a tourist area about 5 minutes by scooter south of Duong Dong, one of the 2 cities in Phu Quoc Island. We are comfortable riding a scooter, so we had no trouble getting to restaurants in Duong Dong from our quiet 1-bedroom apartment. But if I were not comfortable riding a scooter, I would probably live close to Duong Dong and ride a bicycle everywhere. That said, the beaches on the island are not that close to Duong Dong, the best beaches. There are beaches that are perfectly acceptable, but the stellar beaches are not next to Duong Dong. If riding a bicycle, you'll have to be happy visiting the more local beaches, unless you want to take a taxi. Where we stayed, loved this place, link provided. The Wi-Fi worked great, hot showers, plus it has a front patio and a small usable kitchen. See the life and food video, link provided if you want to see the inside of our 1-bedroom apartment. Our landlord got us a scooter for $4.50 a day. She's a sweetheart. Her name is Chang. You should book and stay at her place. She's a lovely person. Okay, there's also a link here to a hostel a little closer to Duong Dong, and some people are looking to live really cheap, and that hostel is a way to do that. Okay, a highly rated guest house. There's a highly rated guest house here, a little closer to Duong Dong also. And then there's a link to an Airbnb apartment if you want your own router and kitchen and you want to stay for 3 months, 6 months, or whatever. Here's a link for an example for you. If you go for a month to check retirement feasibility, you may want a kitchen, as I say. Here is an apartment with kitchen, decent area for relatively cheap. If you're new to Airbnb, use this code at checkout to get a big discount on the web page. Okay, cheap flights to Phu Quoc. We almost always get our cheapest flights on Skyscanner, link provided. They have a web crawler that is constantly looking for the cheapest flights all over the world. As usually, we found the cheapest flights from Ho Chi Minh to Phu Quoc, Vietnam on Skyscanner. Then we transferred from Phu Quoc, Vietnam to Cambodia, our next stop on the Southeast Asia tour, via ferry, minivan, and bus for $18 per person, which we purchased from John's Tours in Phu Quoc. That's how we got to and left Phu Quoc, links provided. Okay, things to do in Phu Quoc, Vietnam. If you come to the web page, there's a video of all the things we're recommending you do in Phu Quoc, and then there's Phu Quoc, and then there's a Google Map link. You click the link and do it yourself if you rented a scooter, or if you want to rent a taxi for the day or whatever to do all these. But each place on the tour has a short description in the video and on the web page, and it's an interactive Google Map. You can add things or remove things if they don't look interesting to you. All of that is on the web page. I'm not going to say more about the tour. Watch the video, and if you're interested, take the tour. Same with the best beach in Phu Quoc. There's a Google Map here, the 4 best beaches in Phu Quoc that we're recommending you must see. You just click the link and go on the tour. That's here on the web page, the video and the map. So just click the link below this YouTube video. Next up, best sunset in Phu Quoc. There's 3 places we're recommending for a sunset. The number 1 place, number 2 place, and number 3. They're on the web page in order, and there's some beautiful sunsets along with the video to show you what the sunsets look like and what the beach looks like. So you can watch the video, pick the one you like the most, and head out to that one to watch the sunset. Okay, Phu Quoc cable car tour. Is it worth the money? The short answer is yes, but we made an amazing video for you so you could see what it costs and what it includes and how big a purchasing boom it is, because you're getting so much included. That video is on the web page and along with links, so you can do the tour if you want. Okay, best cheap food in Phu Quoc. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of our favorite restaurants listed on the web page, ranging in price. Most of them are around $1 to $1.50 per entree. Then the one expensive one I talked about a minute ago, we took Chung Hui to for her birthday for a glorious Italian meal. Okay, Phu Quoc Island facts and history. Oh, there's also a video that includes the restaurant of us eating in the restaurant, showing you the dishes and where we stayed, and some just living what life is like living in Phu Quoc. That video is called Best Cheap Food and Life in Phu Quoc. It's on the webpage. Phu Quoc Island and facts and history. Phu Quoc is the largest island in Vietnam. It has white sand beaches and a no visa required policy for foreign nationals for up to 30 days, the only place in Vietnam with that policy. For this reason, Phu Quoc is rapidly becoming the place to be in Southeast Asia for cheap pop-in visits for a few days or a few weeks. Phu Quoc Island is located, Google Map link provided, on the Gulf of Thailand, adjacent to the border between Cambodia and Vietnam, across from Thailand. There's an international airport on Phu Quoc, so you can fly here directly or take a ferry across from mainland Vietnam, link provided. Most of the tourist development has been done along the west side of the island, mainly north of the airport around the largest town, Duong Dong, Google Map provided. And Doi is another town on the southern tip, which has many locals and tourist development also. Then there are random resorts and fishing villages strewn about the island. The island has about 110,000 permanent residents. There are 21 other small islands in Vietnam around Phu Quoc that are managed by the Phu Quoc administrative offices. Although tourism is the new kid on the block for Phu Quoc, the island has lived commercially on fish sauce production and black pepper agriculture for decades. Pearl farming has also been developing over the last 20 years. Phu Quoc is also developing medical tourism with the Vinmec Phu Quoc International Hospital I mentioned, but that's in the infancy stages. Phu Quoc was a simple fishing village until a Catholic priest hid a former royal family member, Nguyen An, on the island. Later, the Catholic priest arranged for an army from France to help Nguyen An attack the northern Tay Son army and regain control of Vietnam. This deal made by the Catholic priest eventually led to the colonization of Vietnam by France once Nguyen An won the war and was installed as the emperor of the Nguyen Empire. Upon assuming the role as the first emperor of the Nguyen dynasty, Nguyen An renamed himself Gia Long. Although called the Nguyen Empire by name, the new government was a colony ruled by Paris. In short, a Catholic priesthood had a hand in the subjugation of millions of people halfway around the world. This reminded me of what I learned traveling through Mexico, Central and South America. The Catholic churches played a large role in how foreign nationals, foreigners, I guess they're locals where they live, but how they've been treated in remote parts of the world. For 20 years, starting in 1953, Phu Quoc was the site for the largest South Vietnamese prisoner of war camps. And the height of the camp, there were 40,000 North Vietnamese prisoners here. In 1975, Cambodian Khmer Rouge soldiers invaded and held Phu Quoc temporarily. The ruling party of Cambodia formally dropped its claims to Phu Quoc about a year later in 1976, but the opposition party in Cambodia still claims ownership of Phu Quoc. There's been no attempts by Cambodia to retake Phu Quoc over the last 40 years. Final thoughts? If you're interested in the subject of present moment awareness, my new videos on that subject are now being posted here, link provided on the webpage. Please subscribe to Vagabond Buddha or our YouTube channel to watch us move around the world. As I say, 65 countries so far. To find out about our members only price and benefits for those looking to retire cheap internationally, there's a video on the webpage at the bottom of the webpage you should watch. This is Dan of Vagabond Buddha. Thank you for your interest in our 1,100 USD per month retire in Phu Quoc, Vietnam guide. The world is your home. What time will you be home for dinner? This is Dan of Vagabond Buddha. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, could you please like it, subscribe, or comment? Any of those would increase our rankings in the search engines, which would help our business greatly. Thanks so much in advance. This is Dan of Vagabond Buddha. Hey, we write reports about the best places in the world to retire cheap. Come on over to Vagabond Buddha and check us out. Just click the link below this video. Come to Vagabond Buddha, see what the sort of services and prices we have. Thanks so much.